Hey professionals, so I've done you guys a huge disservice. I released Snap Captions a little while ago, but I didn't provide a full video workflow guide on how to actually use Snap Captions. And that's completely my fault, and I'm sorry about that, and I'm here to rectify it now. And this is pretty important to get right, as if you get any of these settings wrong early on in the process, you end up having to redo it, and it can end up costing you more time than it would save. And I see most people going wrong in two categories: understanding what Snap Captions actually does and does not do, and understanding what settings you should apply where to get the best effects possible. And again, this was my fault for not giving you guys the full workflow guide. When I released Snap Captions, I was only at 350-ish subscribers, and I was really still quite new to YouTube. And in fact, I still am really trying to figure out how to be the best YouTuber I can. And also on that note, thank you all so much for the massive growth that's happened on this channel since we first started this. I cannot thank you enough for the awesome community that's come together all around using DaVinci Resolve. It's honestly been one of the best things that I've ever built this year, and I'm really thankful to have all of you as a part of it. I digress, let's get back on topic. So here's what we'll be creating today. Did you know that we can finally in DaVinci Resolve create automatic fancy captions like you see below without any typing, any keyframes, any of that time-wasting button presses? And this is all thanks to the fact that I've hired an IT programmer to create this automation, and I'm giving it away for free. If you want to find out more about it, you can check the full video in the description or comments below. So that's what we'll be creating. Now, before we get started with creating all this, there's going to be a few assumptions that have already happened, such as that you've already got Snap Captions installed. If you haven't, I just recommend pausing this video, check the link in the description, and it'll show you the most current way to actually update Snap Captions. And once you have that installed, we'll come right back here. And then the second thing is that we're assuming you already have an edited video. If you don't, you can actually download the example project file so you can practice along if you want. And there's a couple settings in the timeline that we need to get correct. So in this case here, if I click into my timeline and just go timeline settings, the really important one is we want to have this mismatched resolution set to center crop with no resizing. And the reason we want to have this set up like this is there's actually a preview thing we're going to do later on down the line, which is going to show how our stuff's going to actually look on the social platforms. And it's important we have this setting checked, otherwise things get all weird like. So just make sure you have that set correctly, and then we can continue on with the rest. So before we start automating the caption creation process, we first need to create or download the style of caption that we want to use. Now, thankfully, we only have to do this step once, and then we can apply it to every video going forward. So just bear in mind that this is a one-time thing. This isn't going to be part of the process every single time. And you'll be using the style on every vertical video moving forward. So it is important to spend a little bit of time to really figure out and hone in on what you want. So let's show you how to do that now. When it comes to creating captions, if you want to create something completely from scratch with your own style and design, you can actually grab a text plus from the effects pool. So if you click on effects, type in text over here, and then choose the text plus. Don't choose the regular text, it's got to be the text plus. Now, what happens is Snap Captions will actually use this as the style template per se. So we can go across and design this however we want. Maybe we give it a nice big bold red line and we decide to make it a bit bigger so it's a bit more readable, so forth. So you could go across and you could spend a lot of time working on this, or we could use a template pack here. So I actually already have some free templates you can get from my Ko-Fi shop, and then there's some paid premium packs if you want as well. If you want to help support and keep letting this grow and get bigger, I highly recommend checking out that paid template pack. You pay for it once, and any updates I give to it will always be applied for free. This is the clean text pack from Snap Captions, so this is the free one. And if you want to install this into the project, all we have to do is click on this. So what you'll see here is it creates this new timeline, and we are simply just going to grab this Snap Captions folder and drag it out, and that pretty much covers it. So if you want to have a quick preview of these, we got these captions right here. And if you want to get started easy, I'd probably recommend starting with the Snap Beast. It's got this nice little pop-in effect going on right there. And what I see a lot of people doing is they'll take this Snap Beast template and they'll just change it to something closer to a more unique branding. So in here, they might change this to say Gotham Black. And then just looking at this, we might need to scale it down a little bit and go from there. So I'm just going to copy this one from this timeline here, and I'm just going to paste it in like so. So once we think we're happy with the style of captioning that we want, it's actually really important to see how this will look on screen media, as a lot of the UI overlays can actually get in front of your captions and make them look pretty ugly. So let's just go through how we set that up right now. So if you go to my Ko-Fi store, there's a vertical video UI template you can download completely for free. And once you download it, you'll have a folder that looks something like this. So once we have this, all we have to do is double click this Snap UI timeline import. Just make sure you've selected the master bin as it's easiest when it's installed directly under it. And when we do this, you'll see over here that it's installed Snap UI. So this is a preview timeline with the vertical video UI overlays. And if we click on the adjustment clip and go to effects, we can actually choose between YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. So what's nice about this timeline here is if we just grab our video and drag it underneath, we can actually see what our captioning is going to look like. And if we look here, we can actually see that the UI is overlapping with the caption itself. So that's not ideal. That's not going to look good. That's going to reduce our attention. So here's a really easy way to go about adjusting this template to look nice in UI. If we just drag this adjustment clip up one, and then we go back to our timeline where we have this caption, we're just going to copy it across to our preview. And if we just put it underneath here, we now have this really easy to adjust text. And so we can figure out what this is going to look like. So one of the things I know is that I want to have about 15 characters fit within my captioning template, as that's how many characters I want per line when I'm creating my shorts. I like having about 2 to 4 words per line. Now, when we're doing horizontal videos, we can actually fit more words or we can make them bigger. And you may be thinking, how many characters should I be putting per line? And really, it is a personal preference. If you're doing something similar to Mr. Beast, where there's 1 or 2 words, you might be looking at fitting about 8 characters per line. I personally prefer having 15 characters per line on a vertical video and 24 characters per line on a horizontal video. It really is a personal preference, but the best way you can do it is really just have a feel and a play. And the easiest way is just drag your finger across the number keypad until you have the desired amount of characters you think you want and go from there. And it's also really important, just as a quick note, that we remember how many characters we're optimizing our captions for. If you want a little hack, you could probably go into your name here, click once and then click again, and you might just underscore 15 CPL. And we know that means, hey, this is designed for 15 characters. Just a nice little easy hack that way. So if I just type in 15 characters, all right, great. So we can see how this is lining up now. And I can easily see that this should probably go across a bit more here. And we're still kind of crossing into that unsafe territory. So I'm just going to go back to the text and I'm just going to reduce it down like so. Now, I also see that it's probably a little too high up on my face here. So I'm going to go back to this layout. Just as a quick note, this is one of the common mistakes I see a lot of people make, and it's really understandable how we can make it. But basically, a lot of people use the settings tab here to change the positioning. What's not good about this is that Snap Captions can't actually recognize these settings, and so it's not going to copy them across. So what I actually recommend doing is using the text layout tab here. Any settings you change here will copy across automatically when you go to generate your captions. So we're just going to go in here. I'm probably going to bring it down like so. And I can kind of just see that with this UI, it's kind of not really got that pop going on. So I'm just going to change this to a 3 to really give it that little bit more of a pop. And then I might even just say, like, you know what, this white, it's really blending in with the UI. So I'm just going to go in here and choose a nice yellow to give it a bit better of a pop. And this is what it looks like with the animation in automation. And I'm giving, yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Moving on. So once we're happy with this template, we want to now store this in a way that Snap Captions can actually recognize it. If you don't do this, when you go to use Snap Captions, you'll see we got this no Snap Captions bin found. So this is how we create the Snap Captions bin now. We simply right click on this new bin and type in Snap Captions. It's case sensitive, so just be mindful of that. And then all we have to do is drag it in here and you'll see that we now have this in here. So when we go workspace, scripts, comp, Snap Captions again, you'll see it's recognized the template. Ignore the subtitle track for now, we'll get to that later. But just note that we now have a template that Snap Captions can generate from. Now, one of the things that you might be thinking after you've just seen this is, I don't want to have to keep creating a folder, typing in Snap Captions, and then remembering where to put things, yada, yada, yada. Totally understandable. That'd be really annoying if we had to do that in every single project we did. So there's really 2 awesome solutions you can create here. So if we right click on this and we choose export bin, what I really like doing is creating a new folder and just naming this the client name. So here I'm just going to put Orson's yellow captions. just as a way to easily remember where they are if we start creating lots of styles for ourselves and different people. And before we hit save, just make sure that it stays named Snap Captions, as this will help it install correctly in the future. So now that we've hit save, we now have this DRB file. So if I just go ahead and delete the Snap Captions, let's say this is a new project and we need to reload our template, we can just double click on this. And just like that, we've now reinstalled Snap Captions. And if we go back up to here, there you go. So that's a really easy one-click way. The other option you could do is, let's say you have a really organized project file. So here we've got like a timeline bin and a video bin, and we got some Snap UI, and we all want to just save this as one project so we don't have to redo all these files again. You can actually go ahead and export the project as well. And so from here, you'll see we have a .drp file. What this one here is, if I double click on it, you'll see it's going to open up the project manager. And then here, I'm just going to give this like a code. So I might call this Awesome Lords Project 56. And now it's going to have my entire project with the bins in the correct order and the timelines that I like having set up with all their little settings adjusted, done like that. So if you're doing a lot of repeat work that's very similar all the time, this is a great workflow for helping just clean up a lot of that process. And then if I hit import, it's just going to create a new project that looks exactly like the one we have loaded up now. So now we need to generate a subtitle track, which is basically telling Resolve what words are going where, when. This isn't really about the styling, more so about the pacing of the words themselves. Now, if you have the Studio, you're going to have an easier time. If you don't have Studio, there are still free workarounds. Let's just show you how to do it in the paid version, then I'll have a quick discussion about how we do it with the free version. So first we need to go to Timeline, create subtitles from audio, and here we're going to choose 15, and I'm going to do double lines. It's kind of my personal preference, really up to you whether you want one or two. And then we just hit create, and we just give Resolve a second and it'll figure it out. Here we go. So we can see our subtitle tracks working right here. Now, if you need to generate this for free, I highly recommend you can either use CapCut, which has a free subtitle generator, or you could look at something like Riverside, where you can upload a video and you can get a subtitle file. These files are specifically called SRT files. And what they allow you to do is basically create a subtitle track like this outside of Resolve and then import it in. And so that's basically the free workaround. So once you generate that subtitle track, import it in, you'll have something that looks just like this as well. And then you're ready to keep going on with us. Now, if we click on Workspace, Scripts, Comp, Snap Captions, you'll see this is no longer grayed out saying there's no subtitle track because, hey, there's a subtitle track. But before we hit generate, there's some other things we should have a look at first. So Resolve's not perfect. Sometimes it will misspell a word here or there, especially if the microphone quality is lower. So I think this is the perfect place to go and have a look and just see, are the words both spelt correctly and are they grouped in a way that's going to be best for retention? One of the major benefits to fixing up any spelling and any retiming errors with the subtitle track is that if we ever decide to regenerate the caption, so we want to say completely change the style, we can't just go across and copy and paste all the settings to the existing captions. We have to regenerate them. This simply means that if we fix the captions in the subtitle track and not in the video tracks down below, if we ever have to regenerate them, we're not going to be doubling up on work as it's going to be already saved above. It's basically a non-destructive workflow that's going to save you a lot of time when you want to try changing things or playing with things. So here, for instance, we might want to put caption a little bit earlier. So what we'll do here is I'll just have a play. Fancy captions. Now, I personally think it'd be better to have captions just a little bit more forward, just so people can see that keyword before we get there. So here's how to fix that. If we just have a quick play and take a look at the waveforms, fancy captions, we see captions ends right here. So I can just drag this forward like so. And then all I'm going to do is cut the captions out of here. And I'm going to put them in here. Now, this is obviously a bit too much space, so we might bring automatic up a line and we'll bring fancy captions down a line. There we go. And we'll just keep playing this through and see if there's anything else to fix. Cool. So I'm pretty happy with that now that we've gone and fixed that up. So with our captions generated and redesigned the way we want, we can now go across and use our automation to automatically generate them. So we can just simply go Workspace, Scripts, Comp, Snap Captions. I'm going to capitalize all the words. I think it looks better that way. Remove punctuation and fill gaps by 50 frames. Now, some of you might be wondering, what does this do? So basically, if we ever have the captions disappearing and coming up again for like half a second or a couple seconds even, it can look a bit janky. Sometimes we just want the captions to stay there till the next one's ready to go. If that's the case, you can use this fill gap here. So what it essentially does with 50 frames is say, hey, If there's a gap that's 50 frames or less, stretch it across, fill it in so there's no blinking. And 50 frames is 2 seconds because I'm using a 25 frame per second timeline. So once we've done that, we can just hit generate. And voila, just like this. Did you know that we can finally in DaVinci Resolve create automatic fancy captions like you see below without any typing, any keyframes, any of that? So one of the things I'm already noticing here is that, hey, I just realized these words are a little too closely spaced together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a look at this first one here, and I'm just going to go to the line spacing setting in the title text settings here. I'm just going to break that out a little bit. And I can even see that it's, you know what, it's still a little too high. So I might just even go into the layout, drag it back down a little. Once we're happy with that, we can just go across here, and I'm going to give this the same name as our existing one. So I'm just going to copy that, go over to this one, and then choose file, and I'm going to paste it across, and I might just even call it version 02. And then we can just drag it in here. So now all we have to do is go workspace, scripts, comp, snap captions again. We'll just redo all the settings, and I'm going to choose version 02 and hit generate. And then we'll just disable the old track. Did you know that we can finally in DaVinci Resolve create automatic fancy captions like you see below without any typing, any keyframes, any of that time-wasting button presses? And this is all thanks to the fact that I've hired an IT programmer to create this automation, and I'm giving it away for free. If you want to find out more about it, you can check the full video in the description or comments below. So now you know how to use Snap Captions and a full workflow to create any sort of fancy caption you like. Now, before you go, if you're looking to create even fancier looking captions with the color changing lines like you've seen in Alex Hormozi's shorts, then you should definitely check out this video here where I show you both the free way and the fastest way to do that. And apart from that, professionals, thank you all so much for being such an awesome community to create videos for. It's just an absolute blessing, and I cannot thank you all enough for the growth that I've received on this channel. Until next time, I'll catch you around.